Welcome back. My first guest breeds reptiles. His name is Tommy Rorix, and he's here to acquaint us with the critters that he's brought along for his hobby that turned into a small business.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, you just started out as a hobby, but now on the weekends you have a full daytime job, right?
Well, yes, ma'am. It's through the week, and some weekends we travel, go to some reptile shows around the South, Florida, Georgia.
Well, before we get into details and show some of these interesting critters you brought, I did not know that they had trade shows like that in most states.
Yes, ma'am.
But is it more or less a hobby and a business?
There's big business, a lot of big business. Yes, ma'am. There's some major corporations.
It's lucrative.
Oh, yes, it's very lucrative. I have friends that make a lot of money in this business.
For heaven's sake, how did you get so interested in reptiles?
Well, it started.
And was that at a young age?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it started as a small child. I was raised in Crichton along 3 Mile Creek. It's where I lived, and we would spend a lot of days catching snakes, turtles, lizards on 3 Mile Creek, and bringing them home and having to take them back when our parents found them.
Well, you always felt some sort of an affinity
Yes,
with
ma'am.
them, obviously.
Yeah, always anything that was a little bit different, a little bit interesting, I always took a little bit more.
My. Well, I'm just delighted that you came. Now, you want to start with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Cage
These are some scorpions, a little small collection of scorpions. Most of these are harmless. There are 2 in here that can be give a person a little trouble. They're usually asleep at this time, so I'm going to have to stir them up using this hook so you can see them a little bit better. They should be at home asleep right now. So, and some of these are real placid, like that one. It doesn't really move a lot. And this one here, it's a little bit more fiery. It doesn't like to be poked or prodded at all. And then we have this one here that actually hisses when someone messes with it. He'll make a small noise.
Is that right?
Right.
I always thought scorpions were poisonous.
Well, there's a couple here that are.
Oh, really?
Some that if you were in the desert and dehydrated and not in very good health and they were to sting you, they could cause you some problems. But here, a normal, healthy person shouldn't have any trouble.
Interesting stuff. Okay, these leopards.
Yes, ma'am. Leopard geckos. These are the #1 reptile pet in the world over the past 20 or 30 years because they're so easy to keep. They're small. You can keep 3 in a tank this size, no problem. And up until the past year or so, when these guys started to get a little more popular, they have been the #1 reptile pet in the world.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a male and a female.
Right, a male and a
couple.
female.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have sand in the bottom there.
Yeah, they live on basically playground sand.
Do all of them eat more or less the same type food?
Well, some are strictly vegetarians. They only eat, vegetables. Then we have some that are omnivores. They'll eat more vegetable and animal matter. And then you have some that are carnivores that only eat animals.
Well, now this fella up front is most interesting.
That's Spencer. He's a bearded dragon from Australia. Pagona vicipitus is his Latin name. And he has become, over the past year, one of the top reptiles to keep as a pet in the world. He's starting to take over these because they're a little bit more personable, have more personality.
But they're much larger.
Oh yeah, he's a little bit bigger. He's a good sized animal, so
yeah.
He's a nice one though. He doesn't bite.
He seems to be very friendly.
Oh yeah, he is. He loves attention. He'll spend all day in this leash on my shoulder, riding in the car.
You have him on a leash,
yes,
more or
ma'am.
less. Okay, tell me about this guy.
That is Rocky. He is a Eurymastix from Morocco. It's the most heat-loving lizard on the planet. He can withstand temperatures up to 145 degrees. When everything else is running for cover, he's coming out to get a suntan.
Oh, he has a ridged tail.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now this is a beautiful
This is
chameleon?
D. He is a panther chameleon from Madagascar.
Oh, he's so pretty.
He's a big ham also. He likes a lot of attention. He's harmless. Anything with a mouth can bite, but most of these are pets, do not bite, make great pets.
Tell me about chameleons. I've always thought that they changed color like to protect themselves with the environment they're in. Is that right?
Well, that somewhat, but usually it's their emotions. If they see another male chameleon, which I'll show you with this one here, if he sees that lizard, they're a little cool now. They may not do it. He will get a little agitated with him and may change colors, blow himself up to make him look a little tougher and bigger. But I don't know if he's even looking at him right now.
Oh, but he is just beautiful.
He is. He's
yes,
really,
he certainly is very
this
colorful.
Is actually a very expensive lizard.
How long does it take for, I mean, you have to take the eggs as they lay the eggs, and you have to more or less, I would say, mother those eggs before they come out as...
Right. We take them out just as soon as we can, as soon as they lay them. We incubate them. Takes about 2 months average.
2 months?
Yes, ma'am. We have to keep them moist.
You have some tortoises here.
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting.
Those are sulcata tortoises. They're the second largest tortoise on the planet.
Oh?
When they get grown, they'll be the size of a small coffee table.
Do you have a favorite among all of these?
The bearded dragons are my favorite. Actually, this one's father, who's at home, he's a little bit older, so he doesn't make the trips with us anymore, is probably my best friend.
Well, he is something, I tell you.
Yeah,
listen, we're going to pop a telephone number up for you where you can talk to Tommy and find out more about this Dragon Ranch he runs here on the weekends. And you've been at this for years, huh?
I've been doing it all my life, but I really got deeply involved with it about 5 years ago.
For goodness sake. Well, I think it's most intriguing. You say you actually go to Florida, Louisiana, and to Birmingham, Alabama?
Yes, ma'am. Birmingham, Alabama is the longest running reptile show in the South. It goes on every month. A lot of breeders and collectors come through there. Very big popular thing.
I find that some of them seem to be a little more friendly,
yes,
or they look at you differently than others.
Yeah, some of these are a little, I've had since like this one since he was about 3 weeks old, and he has been hand raised. Me and my daughter Tara, she would handle him, and just a big pet.
Well, Tommy, thanks so much for coming and sharing all this with us. And goodbye, little fella. He really is beautiful. Okay, give Tommy a call if you're interested in reptiles, and we'll be back after these messages.